Please help me in welcoming Coeur Jefferson.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for having me here. I really appreciate your time that you can give me, and I just really appreciate Dr. Rick and Laura Rumpler and all of you at NIC for allowing me to come just be a part of this for a little bit. Your time is the most valuable currency that you have, and the fact that you've given it to this is really great, and I'm super grateful that I could be here. I was born in Coeur d'Alene, so don't let the man bun fool you. I was born here, and I moved around a little bit. I went to California, not California, I went to Florida, and I lived in Florida for a few years, and I had the opportunity to go to the Ringling College of the Arts, and I decided not to do that. I decided to move back to my hometown and go to NIC, and what I did. And I just want to give a shout out to some of you specifically. Philippe Val was my instructor and the leader of the graphic design, the head of the graphic design department, and I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be able to be here without him, so I really appreciate you and love you very much. I also want to thank somebody that obviously needs to be thanked because I stand right here, Dr. Josh Meisner. Are you in here, man? Is Dr. Josh in here? Where are you, man? Okay. I just looked for the bald head. I can't see you, man. The lights are really bright. But hopefully I do you proud. He was my speech instructor, and every year I went into speech, I always tried to get his class. He really changed me and helped me. So I'm sure he'll be grading this, and we'll see. I didn't win the speech competition when I was there, but look at me now, so we're good. It doesn't matter, right? So thank you so much for having me. I own Seejepp Studio here in Coeur d'Alene. We're down on the corner of 5th and Sherman, and basically what we do is we communicate businesses and brands online. There's two worlds. There's the real world, the one we're in right now, and then there's the digital world where everybody's in when they're doing whatever they're doing, right? They're on their phones, they're on their computers, and that's the digital world. And you have to have your business in both locations to be relevant in today's world. And so what we do is we translate your vision, your aesthetic, and everything that you are online, whether that becomes websites or whatever. So that's actually what we do. And so what I'd like to say here today is Josh Meisner actually taught me to talk about the things that you're going to talk about before you talk about them. So I'm going to talk about two things. I'm going to talk about you. And then I'm going to talk about them. And what I mean by them is I mean your students. But first of all, many ask you to believe in your students. They come and they're a part of what you're doing, and they come over and they say, hey, let's talk about the students and how we can inspire and empower them to be amazing, and that they come out and they could start their own businesses and get great jobs. Right now, we're not going to talk about them right now because they're not here. We're going to talk about you. I'm asking you today to believe in yourself. The older that I get, so I'm young still. I still have a lot of time left. I'm 36 years old, and I am just getting started. But the older that I get, the more permission I give myself to speak to society. The more I can say about the world that I live in. And the more I also realize that we're all just kind of winging it as adults. We're all kind of scared. We're not kind of scared. We wake up with anxiety and stress. And we wake up with, am I going to be able to do this, and how am I going to be able to do this? The first day of school, like today even, you gotta come in here and meet everybody again. Some of you have been working all summer, some of you haven't, and you're like stressed out about it, and we all have anxiety about it. And I have empathy towards that. And so my job in life, I feel this is my allotment in life, is to inspire others to be themselves. And if I can inspire adults just as much as young people and older people, that's what I want to do. The thing that we all have in common is we all live this life, we're all winging it. We're all trying our very best. Yeah, we might be professional at some areas, and we might be confident in some areas, but I'm pretty confident, but I still woke up this morning stressed and worried and nervous to do this. But the only difference was I decided I was just going to do it, and I was going to do my very best. And the most important part is I was going to be me doing it. At this point in my career, I've accomplished things that I at one time thought was arriving. I want to give a shout out and a thank you to my staff. I gave them the choice to be here, and I think every single one of them showed up. They're all sitting right there in that section right there. And this is Josh. He's vlogging. So those videos that you get to see, we're capturing that content all the time. So Josh is a part of the staff too. And I just want to say that I would not be able to do the things that I do without them. I'm super grateful for them, and I'm grateful for just pretty much everything in life. I think gratitude is what we weave in through our life to make it work. Without gratitude, it really just nothing really matters. It doesn't really matter what you guys do. If you don't have gratitude, it's all just moot. It's not nothing. So I said I've accomplished things. Like I have a full. If you would have asked me 5 years ago or 10 years ago, hey, one day soon you're going to have a business on Sherman, facing the street. Yeah, and you're going to have 10 employees, and you're going to make good money, and you're going to have clients, and you're going to travel a little bit, and you're going to be online a lot. You're going to have a TV show or an internet show. You're going to have all those things. I'd be like, life will be great. It'll be simple. It'll be amazing. That's what I would have told you. I would have said, I arrived. But the truth is, I have all that now, and I still am scared. I'm still full of insecurity. I'm still super nervous, and I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm still winging it. But the only difference is that I'm doing it as me. I'm going to be confident in being myself, because that's the thing that I can control. Buddy Lay, some of you probably know Buddy Lay. Buddy Lay is a friend of mine, and he told me once one of the greatest pieces of advice I have received and recently was, he goes, control the controllables. That's all you can do in life. And so that's what I do. I control the controllables. And if I stress out or have anxiety over something and I can't control it, guess what? I don't think about it anymore. I get rid of it because I can't control that. I can't control the staff. I can't control anything. They're human beings. They're people. They want to quit today after my speech. That's fine. I'll figure it out. Like, we're all living our lives, right? So I'm just going to control myself. I'm going to control how I treat people, how I treat myself, and how I go about life. I can only control the things I say up on this stage. So I'm going to just say the things that are in my heart and in my mind and do my very, very best to accomplish the goal of inspiring others to be themselves. I think somehow society has set us up to think that we have to have it all figured out. You all came in here with maybe a mask. We all come to that. Well, you're going to have to go into your first day at work, at college for the school year. Maybe you have students, and you're going to have to, those students, and everybody's going to think that you should have it all figured out. Society says, hey, you're an educator in college, have it all figured out, or else. You know what? Screw them. You don't have to have it all figured out. As a matter of fact, that's actually the truth. You don't have it all figured out, so why not live the truth? Do that, because that's the most authentic thing you can do. I can call you authentic, and you can call yourself transparent, by the way. We're allowed to call ourselves transparent because that's what we can control. But once you're super transparent, people will start relating to you and calling you authentic. So just be you when you go into the class. Be you when you go to work. Be you when you go out with friends. Be you right now. We don't think about how nervous we are before school or class starts. We disguise it with pride. Like we have it all together. We're like, I got this. I have it all together, and you don't. So I'd say own it. Own your insecurities. Work on them and get through them. But really own who you are. Own your imperfections. Own the things that make you great. When we die and we're at a funeral, we always say the things that made the person that died, like they died, and we always say the things that made them quirky or imperfect. Their funny little laugh or their weird way they walked, and everybody laughs and everybody misses them. Why? We don't say anything about how perfect they were. We say how imperfect maybe they were. Imperfection draws endearment. So why don't we own it? Why don't we own our imperfections and understand that's what makes us special? That's what makes us unique. So I'm talking to you as educators who have to have it all together. You don't. Actually, your students are going to appreciate that you don't have it all together because they don't have it all together. As long as you're owning it, it's confidence. It's almost being confident in your imperfection. So hopefully you're here because you want to change somebody. You want to make a difference. Okay? So start owning yourself and just accepting yourself and working on the things that you don't like about yourself or the things that actually bring you like chaos and stress. Work on getting those things out of your life. But just own who you are and don't mistake what's a weakness and what's a strength. Sometimes we think this is a weakness and it's actually a strength. Start owning who you are. And once you do that, once you're confident in who you are, then you can empower your students. Then you can empower others. It's like the mask in the airplane. You can't help the person next to you unless you have the oxygen mask first, right? Like you can't like help anyone unless you are alive. You need to be empowered. My goal in life, I've realized in the past few years, is number one, to inspire others. No, it's just number one, to inspire others to be themselves, to be unique, to be one of a kind. Actually, to just be what is true. One of a kind, unique, amazing. I have 2 rules in my life. 2. Don't hurt myself and don't hurt others. Those are my only rules. If I follow those rules, I pretty much just do whatever I want. I do. That's why I feel hacking culture is. I hack culture and society. I'm on my way by just following those 2 rules. Because society and culture have set up this thing that we have to be involved in, right? And a lot of them don't make sense because a lot of it's one size fits all, and that's just not how we're built. There is no one size fits all. What works for you may not work for you. What works for you may not work for you. You might even teach the same exact course, but guess what? If I took both courses from 2 different people that teach the same one, I'm going to learn something new from each one. You need to understand that you're unique and you're one of a kind. Now, like I said, you all might be working at the same school, and you might have the same title, but you are all 100% unique, set apart, and one of a kind. I'm going to use Josh Meisner as an example. You're not a teacher named Josh. You're not a teacher named Josh. You're Josh. That's a teacher. That's what you are. You're not a teacher, you're you. That is, you being a teacher or an educator or a professor is not what is special. It's that you're you being that thing that you want to be. That's what makes the difference. Do you guys understand that the system that is out there right now is like being torn apart by the internet? Do you know the things that you teach that anybody can go learn them without you? I could have went and learned about Illustrator, Adobe software. I could have learned all about it without Philippe, without Dave Van Etten, without Derek Landers or Carl Heidel, all of my professors, all the people that taught me to do what I wanted to do. But I would have never have learned it the way I did without them. It's not the tools and the curriculum that makes your classroom or your college special. It's you. You're the one that makes it special. You're the one that makes it unique. I'm not up here talking about Com 101. I'm talking about Josh. And how he changed me and how he made me feel special. And I'm talking about Philippe. I'm not talking about Adobe Illustrator and I'm not talking about graphic design. I'm talking about Philippe and how he made me feel special and how he empowered me because he's the one that did it. They're the ones that did it. Remember Phil Corliss? I'll never forget him. He was the greatest the only photography teacher I ever had. But he was really good, and I miss him. And I was so upset when he shaved his mustache off. Some of you that know him know what I'm talking about, but I will never forget him. I might forget some of the things he taught, and guess what? I might look some of those things up online to remember how to run an f-stop or aperture settings or shutter, whatever. I don't even remember. He taught me that, shutter speed, right? Yeah, but I will never forget Phil, ever. I don't know what he's doing now. I don't think he's here anymore, but I will never forget him. And so that is what makes you special. It's not so what I want you to do is I want you to do you this year. Can you just do that? Just do you. Just go in and be yourself. Maybe you don't have it all together. Maybe you're a little worried that day. Maybe you're a little worried about that first week. Maybe you're worried about a meeting. Just, you know what? I always do this. If I'm stressed and I'm like, I'm stressed about something, I got to go meet with somebody, or I got to go into a client meeting, or I got to go speak to NIC, I'm always thinking everybody's going to expect this, and I got to make sure I touch on this. No, in the end, I just erase that. And I go, just go in and be yourself, man. Just go in and do it. As a matter of fact, Josh texted me that yesterday. Just do you, man. You'll be good. I was like, yeah, he's right. I'm just going to do me. I mean, I don't expect the whole world to buy in on the things that you're doing, right? That's why the whole world doesn't agree on the same thing, because we don't buy in on the same things. But you could sure make a hell of an impact if you're doing what's right and you're doing what's good and you actually care. So you don't have to go into class when school starts, and you don't have to win them all over, because not everyone's going to love you. Because not everyone loves who you are. Not everyone loves me. Some people probably watch my shows online and they hate me. They think I'm annoying. They hate the way I chew my gum or something. And the cool part about that is I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it because if I'm true to myself and I'm who I am and I follow my 2 rules of not hurting myself or hurting anybody else, and I stay true to Coeur and what I am, then guess what? I'm going to attract the people that are best suited to be with me through life. If I try to be somebody else that I'm not, and I try to be different, and I try to fit where I don't belong, I'll attract people, but for the wrong reasons, and then you cannot sustain a fake person for very long until your true self comes out. And so then when you've attracted that mate or that friend or these people into your life, and you've been faking it the whole time, eventually yourself is going to come out, and they're going to be like, who the hell are you? And then you're going to have to go through pain and loss and turmoil and stress. But if you're yourself, and you're true to yourself, and you're true to your heart, and you stay true to what you believe, and you're not hurting yourself or other people, yeah, somebody might not like you. Somebody might hate your man bun, and somebody might trash talk it online all the time. Somebody might not like your tattoos and your accessories, and they might not like that you wear rose earrings, but I don't really care. Because this is what makes me feel good. This is what makes me me. So love yourself. And I know self-love is kind of a trend and a buzzword, and there's a fine line between that. But I really am telling you, accept yourself. Accept who you are as long as you're good and you're trying to make a positive impact on others, and you're good to yourself and you're good to others. Accept yourself and then activate and deploy from that to your students. And then you'll find your one. Heck, we might even cheat that little system and you might find 3. And then you speed up the process. I think that's pretty cool. So, number 1, accept yourself and understand that you're unique. You have flaws and it's okay. And we're all struggling. We all are winging it. We all are trying to figure it out. And we're probably going to remain that way for the rest of our lives. Because society is ever evolving. It's changing, and we're going to have to get a hold of it. I actually believe in the idea of the pursuit of happiness. It's really just the pursuit is happiness. I'm never going to arrive. I'm never going to get there. I'm never going to just be to the place where I'm like, everything is great. No, I'm always going to be striving. I'm always going to be going, and I'm always going to be on the journey. And number 2, your students, all it takes is 1. If you're yourself and you're true to you, you will change somebody. Thank you so much, everybody. I really appreciate your time. Thank you, sir.
That was really nice. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Good job.